Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Science Made Easy Conference with Prof. RSK. Today's edition, we want to look at some important topics that are making science, all right? And so we want to move straight into action. I want to welcome you all. It's been a great time having you in this conference. I'm so delighted parents have joined us and watching us all the way, not only in Ghana, but outside the country. We are so much enthused. We are happy to have you all with us. We are grateful. Without wasting much time, let us move straight into action. And today we are looking at water purification. We are looking at water purification. All right, water purification. We'll ask ourselves, what is water purification? What is water purification? It's a simple process we want to look at so that we have. All right, so we continue. When we ask ourselves, when we ask water purification, what is water purification? In this class, we are going to learn what water purification is. And not only that, we'll also get to know what water actually is. What is water? Why should we purify water? Why should we make water safe for use? We'll understand all these things, and then we'll move from there. All right. So without wasting much time, let's just move straight to action. Okay, so what is water purification? Let's look at the script. Okay, in my simple note that I wrote, I want us to look at it. But before we look at water purification, let us consider some of these words. It is very important you write these words down, and then you learn how to spell them. Okay, you learn how to spell them. There are keywords that we'll be talking about: sources, hydrated, filtration, purification, filter, filter paper, purify. These are some words that we'll be meeting. And as part of our learning, we will also be looking for words we'll look for the meaning of these words. All right. So our first assignment is to find the meaning of these words: sources, hydrated, filtration, purification, filter, filter paper, and then purify. I hope we have written the words down. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So if you are done, please, you can give me a signal, you can unmute, and then you tell me you are done so that we can move on. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, I'm done. Sir, please, I'm done. I'm done.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on. So we are looking at water purification. Now, the very first question we ask ourselves, what is water? So I made it very simple. Water is a liquid substance that is very important to every living thing. Water is a liquid substance that is very important to all living things. All right? And you agree with me that when we talk about living things, we are talking about plants and animals. Plants and animals, whether they are microbial, whether they are phytoplanktons, they are all living things. All right? And the two broad category or classification, we'll look at zoology and then botany. All right. So water is a liquid substance that is very important to every living thing. We will get to define this liquid substance here. We'll get to define it because somebody will say, then if we are talking about liquid substance, then I can take malt or Fanta as water. No. Water is water. Fanta, Coke is also on its own. I will get to define it. So as we move, we'll get to understand every bit of the term we are using in this chapter. All right, now let's continue. Without water, plants and animals cannot survive. We said that without water, plants and animals cannot survive because they are living things. So now we are breaking it down. I've said that in this conference, you will get to understand. You get to understand everything, and you have the right to ask any question at all so that we can push and understand whilst we make science very easy and interesting. All right. The human body needs up to 70% of water. So let me ask you, how many cups of water have you drank today? And if you have not taken, let's say it's almost 1400 GMT, if you have not taken about 6 cups already, then you need to adjust your body. You need to adjust your body because it is very important that you take a lot of water. The human body is made up of 70% water. And it is true. Every part of your body needs water. All right? And the water is processed and then helps to even remove unwanted materials from the body. Okay? Unwanted substances, waste materials from the body. Water is very important to the human body. Now, it is important for us to also note that there are many sources of water. There are a lot of places that we can get water from. Very important. We can get water from so many places. So now let's look at sources of water. Sources of water. Where can we get water from? Okay. Now, when we say sources of water, it is simply defined as the places where we get water from or where we can get water from. So source of water is where or the place where water is obtained from. All right. So without definition, we understand the word sources. So sources of water is where we get water from. Sources of phones, where we get phones from. Sources of air, where we get air from. All right. So that is how we go about it. All right. And that is how we are going to go through. Okay, so now let's look at some sources of water. Some sources of water. We have 1, the sea. 2, we have lakes. We have the dams. We have rivers. We have wells. We have boreholes. Forget about this picture because we're going to see the picture in reality. We're going to see it. All right, we're going to see it well. All right. But I attached the picture because I want you to see some of them as we mentioned. All right. So we have boreholes, we have wells, we have tap, we have waterfalls, we have lagoons, we have ponds, we have streams, we have rainwater, and so many more. All right. So these are the sources of water. A few of them have been displayed in the video. Okay, so let me just go back so that we look at the picture very well. Okay, this picture was taken around Akosombo, Adomin Bridge there somewhere, right? Okay, so that is it. And then this is sea. Then we have rainwater. Okay, rainwater over there. And then we have our tap. We have our tap. We have our well. We have other sources. Okay, so we can see the borehole over there. Okay, so borehole. The borehole is here. Some of you have not used the borehole before. All right, I'll take you all on an excursion. We'll go and learn how to use the borehole. All right, so these are some sources of water. Okay, so let's proceed from here. Now, another thing is that we have natural sources of water and then artificial sources of water. Natural sources of water and artificial sources of water. So we want to look at some of the natural sources of water, and then we'll just put it into consideration. We have the oceans, we have the lakes, we have the ponds, we have the streams, and then we have the rivers. These are some of the natural sources of water. These are some of the natural sources of water we have around. All right, I hope you have taken note of that. Now, good drinking water. What is a good drinking water? A good drinking water is a water that is clean, pure, and it is safe from germs and any pathogen, disease-causing pathogen, disease-causing organism, all right? Disease-causing parasites, okay? So good drinking water is water that is clean, pure, safe from any germs or disease-causing organisms. That is a good drinking water. Okay, so now we have defined a good drinking water. So any water we have around that is not clean, one, that is not pure, two, that is not free from germs and disease-causing organisms, pathogens and parasites, then that water is a bad drinking water. Straight, we are not supposed to take a bad drinking water. It is not good for us. So it is important for us to drink clean water, all right, to stay healthy. Don't forget that the body needs 70% of water in order for us to perform our day-to-day activity. So it is not yesterday I took water, so today I will not drink water. No. And you are not supposed to wait till you are thirsty before you drink water. No, it's a bad habit. Don't wait till you are thirsty before you drink water. That is why in this conference, we encourage that you put your water beside you and then you take a sip whilst we have the conference ongoing. It is a good practice to take water in bits and then you sip and you sip and you sip. That is very good. All right. So how many glasses of water do you drink a day? This is our second question. This is our second question. How many glasses of water do you drink a day? So we have two assignments today. Everybody is going to provide the answers. I'm going to show you where you are going to provide your answer. So after the class, I'm going to show you where we're going to provide our answers. We're going to submit our answers. All right. So how many glasses of water do you drink in a day? If you have not been counting, then I want you to make it a conscious effort to always count the number of glasses, right, of water that you drink. Okay. Now, it is not all water that is safe, all right, that is good for drinking. That is good. That is true. And It is not all water that is safe for cooking. Okay, you can't just fetch any water and say, because I just want to cook, I'm just using any water to cook. We need the right water to do the right things, all right? So if you are drinking water, make sure the water is free from germs, free from disease-causing organisms, free from impurities, and free from other things. We are going to look at qualities of good drinking water. Qualities of good drinking water. When we say water is good for drinking, what will tell us that this water is good for drinking? The first thing that we have to note is that water is tasteless. Water is tasteless. A good drinking water has no taste. A good drinking water has no taste. You can't tell me that this water is too salty. No. This water is too sugary, it's too sweet. No. So water is tasteless. All right. So let us take note of that. Water is tasteless. And then the second thing is that every good drinking water has no particles in it. If you fetch your water in a glass and you want to drink, and you immediately see particles dancing in the water, dancing, I don't know the kind of dance they are doing anyway, but if you see them dancing in the water, then it should inform you that that water is not safe. All right? So water that has particles in it is never safe for drinking. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to be particular about this. We need to be observant. It is not every water that we drink. So watch the water you are drinking and be careful about it. Is that okay? So quickly, let's proceed. So if the water has no particles in it, what else do we look for? A good drinking water has no germs in it. A good drinking water has no germs in it. Disease-causing organism, disease-causing pathogens, disease parasites, all right? They are all absent in the water. The water is good, there is no particles, it does not have taste, and then we are ready to drink. But before you drink, you also have to note that a good drinking water does not smell. It is odorless. A good drinking water is odorless. It does not have any smell or scent, whether the scent is good or bad. Once you smell any fragrance in water, please reject the water. I even say that when somebody gives you water and then you realize that the water has sugar in it, reject it, because the water has no taste. For instance, I like drinking Bell Aqua Active. You know, Bell Aqua Active contains some amount of glucose, you know, so it makes it have some taste. Right. I like enjoying Bell Aqua Active. That is the water I like buying. Okay. Now, when I'm drinking Bell Aqua Active, I don't say I am drinking water. Usually, I say I am taking glucose, because water has no taste, but Bell Aqua Active has taste in it. So I usually say I'm taking glucose. I'm not taking water, I'm taking glucose, all right? So let's take note. Any water that has scent in it, that you smell, whether the fragrance is nice or is bad, just get to know that that water is not good for drinking, right? that water is not good for drinking. Let us take note of that. A good drinking water has no color. A good drinking water has no color. Every water that is good for drinking, that water certainly has no color. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are gradually bringing today's section to an end. And I want you to look at it again. We talked about water. And then we said, water is very important to the human body. About 70% of water is needed, or the human body is made up of about 70% water. Then we said water is any liquid material that is used by living things. And in living things, we classify we classify them under plants, botany, and animals, zoology. So plants and animals, right? Then we move from there to look at qualities of a good drinking water. Before we go, I'll give everybody the opportunity to tell me what he or she has learned in this conference. All right? So without wasting much time, I'll give about 10 people the opportunity to tell us what they have also learned. Right, so water is very important to every living thing. That is for Mumi. Thank you very much, Mumi. Yes, Nana Joa.
Sir, please, I learned that the human body is 70% of water.
All right, thank you very much. Cecilia Bunja.
Sir, please, I've learned where water is, and I've also learned that not all water is good for drinking.
All right, thank you very much, Cecilia. Ufuriwa.
Sir, some examples of natural sources of water.
What is it?
All right, thank you very much, Ufuriwa. Let's go to Baba.
Sir, please, I have learned that good drinking water has no particles in it.
Excellent. Right, let's go to Ya Asantua.
I learned that good drinking water is tasteless.
Right, thank you very much, Ya Asantua. Lady Gloria. Lady Gloria. All right, whilst we wait for Lady Gloria, let's move. Jade. Okay, Jade is also missing. Let's go to my friend over there. Jaden.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What have you learned today?
Sir, please, I've learned that good drinking water is colorless.
Great. So, Jaden, let me ask you a question. If somebody comes to give you Fanta, pours Fanta in a cup, and then gives it to you as water, Jaden, take this one and drink as water, what will you do?
I will not take it.
Why?
Because good drinking water is colorless.
Thank you very much, Jaden. So every good drinking water is tasteless and it is colorless too. Hell, Asante. Hell, unmute your microphone and talk to us. Thank you very much. Yes, Hell.
I have learned that a good drinking water
has no particles in it.
All right, thank you very much, Pearl. Let me go to Al Hassan, my good friend Al Hassan.
Sir, please, I've learned that some sources of water are sea, lakes, dams, and rivers.
All right, thank you very much, Al Hassan. Clenam. Clenam, what have you learned today? All right, whilst we wait for Clenam. Yes, if your hand is up and I have not called you, or you want to add an additional message, please, you have about 1 minute to do that. Hopefully, while your hand is up, Lady Gloria, your hand is up. You have 1 minute each.
Sir, please, without water, plants and animals cannot survive.
Thank you very much. Yes, Lady Gloria. Okay, so whilst we wait for Lady Gloria, let's go to Jade. Jade is still missing. Let's talk. Cecilia Asantua.
Sir, please,
I've learned.
Yes, Asantua.
Sir, please, I learned that water is very important in a human being's life.
All right. Thank you very much. Asantua, let's go.
Sir, please, I learned that good drinking water has no germs in it.
All right, there are no germs in it. Yes. If your hand is up, you can as well talk. We are bringing our class to an end. We are bringing today's conference to an end. If you have something to say. All right. Ofuriwa, any message to us? Yes. Jane, your hand is up. All right. Cecilia, your hand is up. Al Hassan, your hand is up. Baba, your hand is up. If you have anything to tell us, you can.
Sir, please, I learned the definition of sources. Sources means where you get things from.
All right, thank you very much.
Sir, please, I learned that good drinking water has no smell. It is odorless. It is not.
Okay, I have received your question, but I can't really, I can't get a question clearly. Yeah. The person is trying to ask whether the earth has the same percentage of water like that of your human body. All right, so I think that the amount of water that is covering the earth is just about 70%. I don't know whether that is what you want to find out, but it is true. I don't know how nature has a way of doing it, but it is true, 70-70. Yeah. So maybe presently because the polar regions are melting, and then when we say the polar regions, we are talking about the ice regions, okay? The places where it is always ice. Now, because of global warming and everywhere is getting hot, we have discussed this global warming. We will take time to discuss it again because the atmosphere is getting hot and then the polar regions are melting. The percentage water covering the earth might exceed the 70%. But currently what we have now is 70%. But because the polar regions are melting gradually, it's possible that we will exceed the 70%. I hope I have been able to answer your question, Jade. That is a very intelligent question you asked there. All right, so that is it. Please, if you have any question, you have about 1 minute to do that. All right. I want to say a big thank you to all parents that joined us today. I am so grateful. Thank you very much to my honorable members for joining me in this discussion. I am so grateful you came. I hope we'll meet again same time. Thank you and God bless us all. Bye-bye.